welcome back to ESP, Enchanting Sorcery Productions. I am your host, Essie, or Aaron Spencer, and I am actually a little bit nervous today because this is my first time actually running a fully realized setup of Warfare in this amazing little supplement that we have here called Kingdoms and Warfare that we've been playing for a long time, but we've been stuck for almost a year and a half, possibly creeping up on 2 years in a very long intrigue, right? Because we're bi-weekly, but finally we have made it. We have arrived at Warfare. So I am very, very, very excited to get this started. As you can see from our map, we put a lot of work into this. There's a lot going into these cards. We had about 3.5 session zeros, just kind of talking about this and doing a couple of little scenarios, but this is the first time we're actually diving into it. And we have 2 different maps here. So this is more of the logistical map, and then we have an actual battle map where our players and our generals, our commanders, can move tokens around the map. That's my little intro spiel. I just want to give a shout out to MCDM, our friends over at MCDM. Hello, friends. If you're here, I know somebody might be popping in at some point tonight from the staff, so hello. If you are here, thank you again for joining us for Kingdoms and Warfare, this time for Warfare. So we're going to go around the table, and for those who have been here before, you can see that we have 2 amazing, incredible, new, talented individuals joining us in place of Isabeth being on extended hiatus, who is hoping to return for the finale TM, so somewhere in the fall, hopefully. And also, of course, with the departure of Dee, who eventually we will be, as promised, returning to our podcasting roots here on ESP for a little 5e supplemental banter. But in the meantime, let's start with our 2 newest cast members to introduce themselves. So Ian or Vivian, whoever wants to go first, please introduce yourself to the audience and give us a little blurb about the 2 new characters that we're going to be introduced to over the next few sessions.
Alright, I'll go ahead. Hello, my name is Ian. I use he, they pronouns. I will be playing Hurricana. She is a Yuan-Ti Kensai monk. Very much used to train old Zhentarim when she was much younger, is a lot older now, and found out one of her students has essentially joined the fascists, and she's going to go make sure he pays for that. In short order. Of course, you have to win some major battles first, so we're gonna do that. But eventually, I'll get around to smacking him upside the head, among other things. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. I want to thank you all for having me.
Thank you so much, Ian, and we're very excited to have you. Let me see if your Nightbot command is working yet. I think it was just the Twitters for y'all. So if you have our Twitter account, see, I don't think I did.
The screen is wrong.
No. So I will add the Twitters to the Nightbot commands, but in the meantime, you can find both Vivian's Twitter and Ian's Twitter on our Twitter, because we have been tagging them all day long, yesterday and today. So go check out our Twitter. Go give them some love on their respective Twitters and give them some shout outs. So thank you, Ian. We'll add those to the Nightbot commands. And Vivian, take us away. Tell us about yourself and about Celine.
Hi there, I'm Vivian, ViviaCakes101 on Twitter, she, her pronouns. I have been a tabletop player and a dungeon master for better part of 10 years, writing my setting and working on that. But today is a special day because I get to be a player. So I don't have to be the eternal DM on this one. And I'll be playing Celine. Celine is an Earth Genasi druid. She, over the past few years, has been dealing with this ramp up of fascism and totalitarianism in personal ways. It's affected her family, and it's affected a lot of her life. And with the most recent burning down of her village that she called home, she realized that much like how every once in a while a forest needs a fire, so too do nations. And then she found her way to the Zhentarim. And that'll be all for now.
Awesome. Thank you. And I think for this time the captions were being picked up on Ange's screen again for some reason. I don't know. I gotta just throw that out there because the night, no, not Nightbot. The ninja, caption ninja. I can words. Caption ninja is going crazy.
Words are hard.
Yes, words are always hard. But yeah, those are our two new players. I'm very excited to introduce them. I also have Combat Ready Blahaj back here. She's got her witch hat and her Zirael. I knew that too. I'm a bad Witcher fan, I'm sorry. All right, so let's go back to our returning cast members. Ange, hello, welcome back. I'm so happy to see all of our returning cast members again. Ange, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you play in our Stormwatch campaign for Season 3.
I am Ange, she, her pronouns. When I'm not playing in Stormwatch, I do other D&D stuff on other channels. I do the big thing I do is an anime podcast on Sunday nights, so you can check out Animazing Radio. My character here is Thamus, the Leonin Oath of Redemption Paladin, defender of the realm, if you will. And she's just sick and tired. She's ready for this war to be done, but recognizes it is necessary and that the fascists need to pay for this.
You are muted, Essie.
Yes, we do. Yes, I am. Thank you. And as mentioned, our Leonine is very stoic, is very tired and war-weary, considering that he was a veteran of the Silver Marches, and they're ready for it to be done as described. So thank you, Ange. We're happy to have you back, along with Thamus Sunstorm. You're awesome. And, oh yeah, your mic is going crazy again, your captions. I don't know why it's doing that. I think, yeah, I know it's, maybe it's just a volume slider thing because now it's fixed again. I don't know. Caption Ninja's weird sometimes. Caption Ninja's very weird. But thank you, Ange. I do have Nightbot commands for you also. Trelina's here. Hello, Trelina. So everybody hydrate, because hydrate was redeemed. I have a big thing of juice.
That is a big thing of juice. What brand is that?
Ocean Spray.
Ocean Spray or yes, Ocean Spray, the best.
100% juice. Cranberry Conquered Grape. The factory is about an hour from where I am currently.
Oh.
Fancy red goblet.
I'm in the Boston area, TM. And a tarot card in the queue. We'll get to that in a second, but let's go for a link to Ange here, and then I'm gonna pick on Nick. Husky.
Why are you picking on me? I don't like being bullied. Hello, it is Amberfist in the chat / Husky. I am playing Clematis Scamperpaw, our #Himbo Harangon, the bunny rabbit barbarian sorcerer of the party. And yeah, other than playing with this lovely group, I also play on Bricarious's Twitch channel. Been doing Alien RPG. Actually did a session yesterday. And every Friday we do a Polynesian themed level up advanced 5th edition, basically 75% 5e with some extra dressing and cool stuff. And that's been a blast as well.
Heck yeah. Alrighty. And yeah, Precarious, very cool stuff. So definitely go check out Precarious's channel. And we'll talk more about that after the stream as well. But very cool people over there. And I got to give out a couple of villain points for the Alien stream the other day.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, good friends, good friends. So thank you. And of course, last but certainly not least, we have the one and only Jeff/Pathagan on the TikToks. Hello, friend. We are so happy to see you back as well, with Nick/Husky returning for more Kingdoms and Warfare shenanigans. So, Jeff, tell us a little bit about yourself and about the recurring character you are playing here in Stormwatch.
Good evening. I am Jeff, and as you have already mentioned, I'm also Pathagan over on the TikToks. Technoclave in the chat. My pronouns are he, him, and this evening I will be playing Sibian, whose pronouns are also he, him, who is a Battlemaster fighter, but not the way you think.
Okay, very good. And I always forget, is it under Jeff or Pathagan? There we go.
I believe it's Pathagan, yeah.
Yes. Okay, and wow. I'll go ahead and give the recap for now. Let me switch over to the main map here, other than just a little detail. So you can see all these nifty little cards. If you purchase Kingdoms and Warfare, they're in the back. If you purchase a hardcover, you'll get a digital copy with all these cards. You can drag and drop into your VTT at your leisure. I have like 3 different Shadowdale maps here. All right, here we go. The year is 1492 DR, and a wave of fascism is sweeping through Faerun. In the east, the Red Plumes have solidified their power into the Hillsfar Alliance. The Hillsfar Alliance having swept through the Moonsea region, claiming ancient ruins, including that of Zhentil itself, in addition to a long and prolonged campaign of genocide against the Drow of Shadowdale and of House Derneve, as well as human law, the decree that non-humans of the Moonsea must flee and return to the far reaches of the world or face imprisonment or execution, public or otherwise. As xenophobic fascism rises to consolidate power here in the east, theocratic fascism in the form of Dagalt Neverember and his monotheistic cult or order of purity have risen to power in the Neverwinter region, ousting and expelling and imprisoning those that are deemed impure, a prime target of which has been, unfortunately, those members of the queer community that exist in Faerun and throughout the Neverwinter region, as well as enemies of the state. Anyone that is deemed dangerous to Dagalt Neverember's theocratic fascist ideals of a single monotheistic and governmental new order. Together, these 2 prongs of fascism stood and rose to power unopposed until the Paragost sounded the war horn of the Gildum and summoned the banners of the Zhentilar and its mighty legions back to Sunset Vale. For the first time in almost a century, all of the banners of the Zhentilar, all of the regiments and battalions were united once again in Darkhold, with the alleged heir of the lost throne of Neverwinter, an Alagondar by the name of Xavius Rex Alagondar, the Paragost having deferred his power as the Lord Captain of the Zhentarim and the Zhentilar to this young, ambitious commander who he deemed to be the new Emperor of the Zhentilar. With a renewed fervor and strength, the banners united once more. They first march east, while they deferred operations in Neverwinter to the most skilled, the most dangerous and deadly of Zhentarim agents, known as the Harriers, as seen on our alternating Wednesday campaign, Halia's Harriers, Phandelver, and below. Taking place in 1493 DR, the War of Swords, as it will come to be known, begins in the spring of 1492. Having been the forward advance vanguard of the Zhentilar, marching forward from Darkhold, recovering ancient Gondian secrets from the ruined city of Tilverton, including establishing the ruins there as a stronghold in cooperation with the Rogues of Tilverton, a deal worked out in Season 1. Season 2 saw the Zhentilar setting up a stronghold in Tilverton, only to march north by northeast along the Moonsea Ride towards Shadowdale, and the promise that the beleaguered denizens of House Neve, all that remains in the remnants, would be not only integrated into the Zhentarim and the Zhentilar, that their homeland would be restored and returned to them once more. After nearly 3 centuries of being hunted and oppressed by the Hillsfar Alliance and the xenophobic fascists of the Red Plumes, nearing annihilation, the Stormwatch arrived just in time and assisted House Neve with beating back the advanced hunter scouts of the Red Plumes, and even insofar as taking a vast network of underground labyrinthine tunnels from their hideout to Shadowdale itself. And a masterful feat of espionage, battle prowess, and skill, the Stormwatch, or the forward advanced scouts that you see before you, took and claimed the Shadow Tower from the betrayer, the one who sold out House Neve to the Red Plumes during a night that would be known as the Night of Dread, the Evening of Terror, in which the Red Plumes launched a surprise attack on the denizens of Shadowdale, forcing them to flee into the wilds. This betrayer then claimed the Shadow Tower and used its power against all who would oppose the Alliance, until this betrayer, Malkath the Vile, was eliminated by the Stormwatch at the 11th hour. The defenses, the insurmountable defenses and weapon of mass destruction known as the Shadow Tower, was deactivated just in time for the battle. The 3 matrons of House Neve, Zulray, Onray, and Grayana, now work to attune to the tower, a long process of which may take several hours. The battle and the magic weapon having been neutralized, both sides find themselves on even ground. The Red Plumes, believing Hillsfar is unassailable, have done their best to fortify with a makeshift wall battlements around Shadowdale. However, thanks to your work in Season 1 and 2, many of the walls you can see have been slightly damaged or destroyed in various locations, making this fortification null. Your espionage and harrying efforts have made this fortification simply a fallback wall. These 2 armies, near matching in strength, meet on the field of battle, while the Red Plumes hope to drain the Zhentilar of morale and as many troops as possible, with the intention of harrying them along their way to Hillsfar and bleeding them of all intent to continue fighting, throwing everything they have, save for the walls and garrisons of Hillsfar, into this battle, with, thanks to your espionage, thanks to your intelligence that you uncovered, is sort of like a fighting retreat, anyway, unless they start winning. Seeing as they no longer have the Shadow Tower, however, albeit you not having it either, your forces currently stand evenly matched. How the battle will unfold as the light of dawn broke over the horizon and the war horns of the Zhentilar and the battle captains and the R-Dragons sounded over the horizon, relieving you from your defense of the Shadow Tower. The light of dawn creeps over the hill, and the battle is about to begin. Preparing yourselves through text RP with coffee and toast that you have wolfed down from the top of the Shadow Tower. As the matrons attune to this magic, one ability you have being guided by your 2 recent arrivals who personally escorted your commander, Riviar Darkwind, into the pinnacle of the Shadow Tower. You've established a telepathic link to the sword captains and battle captains on the field of battle. Each of you will command a subsect of a regiment and lead them into battle. And as Commander Riviard Darkwind slides a table over the center of the Shadow Tower, unveiling the battle map, and you, with the magic of the first tier of attunement, having established that telepathic link with the commanders and having a 360-degree view of the battlefield. The war horn in the distance sounds once more in a deafening cacophony, as you can hear and see General Gareth Varkin on the field of battle, on his black war horse, riding back and forth from the front line, giving a rousing speech. The speech that you see in the Go Live notification and in the social media post here. As the anxiety swells up within you and you can hear the voices, the generals and the captains in your mind, establishing that link. You can hear Gareth Varkin as if his words were echoing but a few feet from you. Battle captains! Our dragons! Sword ours, form up for advance! Forward, and fear no forward darkness! For we are fear incarnate! Father! And then you just hear a deafening cacophony in response. Zhentilar! Ooh, as this last who echoes and vibrates through Shadowdale. General Gareth Varkin puts the blade forward as the cavalry begins to move. And you can hear the echoes of shouts, "Infantry, forward, in the devil!" As in unison, they begin rhythmically marching as their blades and swords are unsheathed at the ready. The red plumes issuing similar commands to theirs as they form up in a defensive position. Their rounded steel shields and their red plumes flowing in the wind. An ominous, intimidating force. For those that exist under the boot heel of fascism in the Moonsea, this is the most important battle in a lifetime. I'm going to go ahead and change the music here. And for our tarot cards, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing sort of advantage and flair only. So we're changing them up a little bit. The tarot cards are going to be boons for the party. Might and Majesty, yes. Might and Majesty, Stormwatch. Just checking the chat here. 2 cards. Okay. First one is the Elemental, which I believe... I'm going to say this is just going to add a little flavor here, which is going to give you a benefit. So with the Elemental, considering you are the Stormwatch, that is just the Elemental card, which could be any one of the 4 suits, right? Because we have the base card and then in the Adventurer's Tarot. Oh, thank you for reminding me I need to change up the viewer rewards.
Oh, we can't get cute critter companions?
Sorry. Rewards. I gotcha.
My cute critter companion just tried to kill me, so. Ow.
Channel points.
They do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to remove the Indulgent Outfit transformation, though feel free to tell us what you're wearing. In character.
I have my chair. I can just like spin around a bunch of like.
I like that because you
Unfortunately, you
tell us what your
disappear.
characters are wearing.
Yeah, that's like, that's the effect.
Vivian is
Okay.
two-dimensional,
So
unfortunately.
tarot card, rose quartz, clear quartz, amethyst. Amethyst.
Yeah, little did you know this is the
Insight
most
check.
advanced 2D VTuber
Yeah,
ever.
we're good.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, Indulgent Outfit. Yeah, there we go. That is the Indulgent Outfit transformation.
Clem has
Yes.
feathered earrings and currently has fur on his shoulders from some other creature. and he's just wearing typical barbarian garb, ready to fight. He does a little twirl because it's almost like a transformation.
Mhm. Also, you're going to see the inner workings of Discord here for just a moment, but fear not. It is nothing scandalous. I wish. It is simply
Hey,
just
no
bot
intention
commands.
as we look behind the curtain.
It's actually funny because someone is like, reached out to me and said, I think you got to be careful with with whatever you're doing. A couple times we saw like something in Discord I don't think we're supposed to see, and I was like, aha, but fear not. Do you want to know what it was? And they were like, yes, and I was like, it was bot commands.
Oh,
Forgive my
saucy.
overuse of the word like. I'm a little nervous doing this for the first time. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Little nervous doing the warfare for the first time.
I don't know. Depending on how you command that bot, it could be very saucy.
Boo.
that is very true.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As the battle begins, hot sauce, yeah. And we have another
Oh, that's something else entirely.
card here, the second one, which is the druid, we have a druid. This is class specific, so that's going to be Vivian as the resident druid on your first action. On your first action with your battalion or regiment, you are going to have advantage. And I'm going to ask you to flavor that in a way that is very druid-like about how you're going to be manipulating the terrain. But first, before we do that, in the distance, behind the Zhentilar, there is this rumbling of thunder. As you approach with the elemental, you just hear like a in the distance as the otherwise partly cloudy spring morning gives way to an approaching storm. And as the storm kind of approaches from the southwest, it almost appears as if the storm is riding in with the Zhentilar, an omen that inspires all of the troops on the battlefield. And you can hear, "The Storm Lord is with us!" kind of echo through the field as they begin to march forward. But down a little bit more. Very aggressive combat music. I've got it like 25% or so. Okay. Let's go back to the primary screen here, where we can see all the MCDM Kingdoms and Warfare unit cards. Ba-boom!
Ah.
And on the field of battle, we're also going to go back to the power pool here. See who we have left in Hillsfar. Malkath the Vile is deceased. Inquisitor Reginald is deceased.
Oh, actually, speaking of the power pool,
Yes. Staff
we
Sergeant.
get 2 new dice for our new companions.
Ooh, yes. We have 4 commanders. 2 on the field of battle. 3. 1 from the rear. 3 on the field. Each of them have dice. I'm going to go ahead and put the commanders on the field as well. Nice, there we go. Perfect. And the Shadow Tower, right over here. I'll put the banner of the Zhentilar here. A little bit smaller. That'll be y'all. And we'll symbolize that with something, a crown, but wings. 2 wings there. That is the Shadow Tower. A little bigger. Feel free to use the terrain to your advantage. Right now, the soldiers are meeting on an open field of battle. Okay.
For
And
what
Celine.
it is worth, I still have a very old tarot card. That
Mm-hmm.
the first 2 actions taken by ally military units at the battle will have advantage.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. So you're stacking on advantages, so this is good. You've got the storm rolling in, you've got previous advantages, you've got a druidic advantage coming through the pipeline. Now that we have returned to the field of battle, Hurricana, you as the veteran here, it's actually kind of telling. You as the veteran are able to, and if you could roleplay this out, that would be awesome for flavor. But as you sit side by or stand side by side with Commander Riviar Darkwind, an old friend of yours, by the way, who you know is much older than she looks.
Mm-hmm.
You and Commander Riviar from the Shadow Tower, as you kind of splay out the maps and battle maps and have that commanding view of the battlefield around you. Which subsect here would you like to take command of? Would you like to take command of a line? So a vanguard, a reserve, a center, a rear, or infantry as a group?
Ooh.
Specialists as a group? Artillery as a group? Archers as a group? Or elite units?
Oh, okay. This is tempting.
So specialist units are not elite units. Specialist units are just specialist units would be the hobgoblin infantry.
Mm-hmm.
Would be the elven thorns, which is the drowish. Those are the drowish shadow blades that you have recruited.
Yes.
The elite rangers, under the command of Greyana Dernive, the Drowish Rangers of Shadowdale, the Umbral Rangers. There's also the Storm Rider Wyvern Company, in this case represented by the Storm Callers. That is the Wyvern Company. And that would be it. You can also... now, elite units, there's only 3. There's the Storm Riders, represented by the Hounds of Dalrath, the elite cavalry, and we kind of tied the actual basic cards into the actual lore, which would be a nickname for the Storm Riders, the Hounds. Just the Hounds, right? Dalrath is from the actual book, but the Hounds of War, the Dogs of War, the cavalry. And then there is also the ability to be a spotter for Zargoth, the Obsidian Dread, who is waiting in the farthest reaches of the background. And of course, the professionals, which are the Stormwatch units. That is an elite unit.
All right. I just to give myself less to manage for my brain, I'd like to take control of the infantry, just because then I'll only have to know how the infantry work.
Okay. Fair
If
enough.
that is okay with y'all.
Absolutely.
Next battle, I will do something more adventurous. For
right.
now.
So the infantry have a series of traits. I'm gonna go over those right now. They have adaptable.
Yes.
They have advantage on morale and command tests. They have a maneuver, hold the line. As a reaction to being diminished, right? Which is if that health die, right, drops below 3 or below, which is diminished, that would be, you would have to make a morale test, right? So as a reaction to being diminished, the unit can make a DC 13 command test. On a success, this unit ignores the casualties on the casualty die that cause it to become diminished and is instead not diminished. Easy enough, right? And then basic infantry, or the shield maniples at this point, which is your tower shield bearing legionnaires right on the front line. The Zhentilar has the tower shields, and they can do a turtle formation if they need to.
Ooh, okay.
So they have hold the line, adaptable, and into the breach. And this is all in your PDF as well, by the way. It should be page 126 to 130. They also have nice. They also have into the breach. When you successfully execute the follow-up maneuver, You have a +2 bonus to defense for the beginning of your next activation. And then the infantry, the regular infantry in the reserve line, have simply adaptable. And follow up is one of the main actions that you can take.
All right, you got it. So
You're a monk, so you also have some advantages, by the
I
way.
was reading that.
Yep.
I will have to go to the monk advantages on my sheet. But
Your martial advantages.
I believe when we had our very, very intensive tactical session 0, we talked about not falling for the clear kind of funnel that they're trying to create down the middle and trying to wear down their sides. So I'm going to follow what we talked about there.
Okay.
And look up the monk abilities.
We are domain size 5, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we have access to all of those, or only the 5th level power?
All of them. You gain all of them. Yep, that was actually a question that came up before. So for anyone watching, you do gain all of the prerequisite tiers when you are
So have all those monk
looking at domain size. Yep.
Whoa.
And martial advantages.
Very cool. It's almost like I trained some of these soldiers. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know it really is, which is really cool.
I can move through. Cool. Oh, I like this because it supports a lot of my infantry anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
So
And also, thanks to Thamus, by the way, the first 2 attacks or first 2 maneuvers are going to have advantage.
And this is similar to Lancer, where it's like one unit at a time, basically, and we kind of go through the order until we run out.
Yeah. So you're going to go through the infantry and the shield maniples. And what do you say in this moment as you kind of take command of the infantry and just jump to doing that?
All right. Infantry, to me, they aim to make a bloodbath of their central line. I say we tear at their sides. And I'm going to probably just have... We'll start it simple. I'm going to try to have the shield maniple kind of push forward towards the human infantry on the right side and their front line.
Okay. And you have 3 shield maniples.
Yes, so I'm going to do my closest to them, so this one.
Okay.
And I don't know how you want to mark that one off, but...
That's okay, I'll do a little green. And actually, I'm gonna combine the elite and specialist together, just to give someone else a chance to do the infantry, as there's 3 shield maniples. So Hurkana is taking control of the elite soldiers, the shield maniples, the shield bearers, those with the tortoise shields, and they are pushing forward. You can hear that, and you can even hear one of your trainees, who was one of the battle captains, respond to you and just, Mistress Hurkana. Feminine voice, and I'll let you do a little world building here. Who is the battle captain that answers you, and that familiar voice that's commanding the shield maniples?
Oh gosh, this is probably... Oh my gosh, now I have to think of me. Gosh.
From Watch Notes.
This is probably gonna be Marigold. This is somebody that I trained back in the day before I retired. I'm surprised that she's still around, frankly. But more than anything, I'm excited because she was always relatively good at moving very quickly despite all the heavy armor, to the point where it kind of impressed me. Marigold, you yet live. Good. This will be fun.
Tearing into their sides it is. Infantry form up! Lateral movement right! And you can see actually the flags on the field of battle start to move as they start to hold up red flags and motioning in the northeastern direction, these bright crimson flags that have this modified Zhentarim emblem on it. And you can see her kind of in the center, just holding up and relaying information. There are also spotters on hillsides who are also directing. And the red plumes have nothing like this, but you can see these large wooden towers that have been rolled in alongside of the trebuchets that you have. And these other towers are also, from the top of these secondary mobile towers, are also, they have flags that they raise above to communicate. There's red, yellow, orange. There's lines on each of the flag to communicate direction, and arrows as well. Coded messages that are very basic to the Zhentilar, but only they know how to use them.
All right. So, I believe it's attack and power. Is it okay if I roll them at the same time so I can breeze through a little bit?
Yeah, totally. So that's going to be, so are you taking the first unit here and attacking
Yes.
the, okay, awesome. So you're attacking this
Second.
infantry here? Okay. And the second one here, are you attacking the levies in front?
So yeah, I'm gonna try to kind of carve a path, but not engage too much with their
Okay. Let's do,
crushing stance.
yeah. So I think you can roll all at once, but let's resolve one at a time. So let's start with the right flank infantry here.
Mhm. You got it.
So that's going to be a d20, and you're going to add your attack bonus on the shield maniple, so d20 plus 5, and you
So
want to beat a
17?
12. That will, and did you roll that at advantage? Because you can crit.
No, I did not. But let me
You can
go ahead and
absolutely
try
crit.
it. Oh, that's a nat one, so I'm glad
Oh,
I.
okay, all right. You
Glad it
get
wasn't
some of the
just a
ones out of the way. We like to see that.
That's
We like to
fine.
see that.
Gotta
So,
warm up.
all right, you can hear Marigold just shouting in the distance, and you can see the flags moving towards that as you hear the oh, and they kind of shift to the right and begin to push into the red plume infantry here, who are meeting them bravely on the field. Their round shields, red plumes, and short swords clash to meet as they approach, but that does hit. So that is going to be 1. Oh, and I'm going to use the blue here.
Yeah.
Bring them down to a 5. And you can make, after a successful attack,
Mhm.
then you make a power test. So that's going to be, now it's up to you if you want to use the storm on the benefit of the storm, the intimidation factor, on to give yourself advantage on the power test, or if you want to save that, it's like a wild card, right? So that elemental is going to give you that elemental tarot card with the storm rolling in behind you is going to give you the opportunity to use that as, again, a wild. So you can use it on this power test, or you can save it in your back pocket. It's up to you.
I'm gonna save it. Mostly because like if my rolls improve, then I shouldn't need it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I rolled with a power on them. I got a.
So it's going to be
15.
plus. Yep. So it's d20 plus 4, and yeah, that will definitely do it. Additional casualty die, and that is one damage and 1 power follow-up. So as the first clash of battle, you can hear the sounds and screams of soldiers and the shouts as they begin to clash on the field of battle between the red plumes infantry and the shield maniples of the Zhentilar, taking 2 casualties here. Okay, you have another shield maniple to follow up. You did not break them, but you are able to follow up with your other 2 heavy infantry units here.
You got it. I have a question.
Yes.
So on this line, can I only attack units? Oh yeah, I remember reading it. You can only attack the ones next to you.
Yep.
So this one can attack either or, but the only one that can attack this one is there. Okay.
So I think because of your formation, so
Yeah.
this heavy shield infantry can attack. I'm going to be a little flexible. This one or this one. Oops. So in they can attack in front of them, right? Which would be ignore the positioning. It would technically be a diagonal, but we're not considering that. So any one of these 3 heavy Zhentilar infantry can attack any of the front line, so long as they're touching, right? So the shield maniple on the right can attack the 2 above it, and then the one in the middle can attack the 2 above it, and vice versa. So.
All right. In that case, I'll just kind of keep trying to cut a diagonal swath to the right.
Okay.
So my other human maniple in the middle will go towards these human peasants.
Okay, d20 plus 5. And this one is also at advantage, as they are rallied by Thamus's words from Season 2.
All right, so I got a 15.
Yep, that will definitely inflict a casualty. Now you're going to make a power test, so roll another d20 plus 4.
So that's going to be 17.
Yeah. Both of these, almost in unison, you can see Marigold shout and form a command, and you can see the flags moving both left diagonally and then shifting to the right as you can see them turn and begin to march towards the levies here, absolutely cutting into the levies. They're going to be reduced by 2. You are washing over them. You have 1 more heavy infantry to move or to use.
So this one is going to also attack one of the peasants. Just soften them up a little bit so artillery can hopefully clear the path a little bit. Hopefully focusing on the infantry. So yeah, these human peasants, my final shield maniple is going to go towards them. Ooh, okay. So I got, for the attack, I got a 14.
Okay, yep, that works.
And for the power, I got a 15.
Okay, both of those will be effective and will hit. Let me just double check on follow-up. Yeah, okay, it has to move.
To get used to these adequate rolls.
Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, and this is, so you're doing 1, 2, 3 right in the line?
Yep.
Okay, and you can see the infantry in the front have these two central lines of infantry. Rather than a red plume, they all have sort of like red feathers in their helmet, like a single red feather to indicate levies. Okay, right? But both of these, your heavy infantry is absolutely just rolling over the first line of defense, and you can see just bodies of red plumes start to fall as and they kind of move forward, and you can hear them shouting, "Red pluming, send them to the ring!" As they kind of just are forming, marching with their tower shields and just slamming into the enemy lines. And the enemy is starting to get a little nervous here. Okay, so 6 solid hits, yes.
And then as a closing kind of message, Marigold, I did not express this to you much during your training, but you have become adequate.
Thank you, Arcana. You can hear just like with your telepathic connection, you can hear the sounds of battle. You can hear her shouting. You can hear her just blade finding flesh in the middle of the battle as she just kind of yells forward once more, and you focus on the next round. Is that it for the heavy infantry there?
From what I can see, I don't see any others that aren't heavy.
Okay, and so the other thing is, if you have something specific that has like a global reach of several hundred feet, or anything you want to do that you think could be effective in character, you can certainly do that as well.
As a monk, not necessarily.
And also, by the way, just moving over to power pool right here, if I could have Hurricana roll a d12. Same thing for Celine.
I will have to.
We got to get you some power dice here.
Alright, I'll have to roll on the d20, so I don't have that one on me. I got a 7.
7? Okay, so adding more power dice.
I got a 10.
Ooh, awesome. 7. And a 10. Okay, so basically what you want to look at here is, see this power pool that everybody's on right now? This represents you. Oh, hold on, I actually have to move you over there. You will lose the initiative, but I'm keeping track, so don't worry. I'm going to let you know.
I look forward to the day where we get the ability to go between our own tabs someday.
I know. Hello, Roll20. I love you so much. I have so much money invested in here. Can we change tabs without losing the initiative order, please? Thank you. Okay.
I just realized I'll have to read my stuff a little better. Monks work better with lighter infantry, so I'll keep that in mind next.
That's okay. That's okay. It kind of works. It fits with the lore.
Yeah.
10 and 7. So you have 5 dice in your power pool here. Some characters from the original iteration. You have an 11, a 12, a 10 from Celine, a 7 from Hurricana. Y'all can add this dice to any roll you make. The enemy can do the same. So that 7 and that 10, if you're rolling an important roll on the field of battle and you need the extra few, that's what you want. Let me just double check and see if there's any warfare bonuses other than what we've already done. No, okay, so I'm going to move y'all back to the cards here. But we're going to go over to the main map. Okay, so down over here, you can see the shield maniples clashing. I'm just going to move them a little closer. They are engaged. They're overlapping, engaged, overlapping, engaged. Okay. Excellent. And they have their own power pool, which you will not see. I've shown y'all a couple times, but as the attackers, you have the advantage. And actually, 3 of their generals y'all took out during Intrigue, which was very cool. Okay. All right. Next up in the
That's what we do.
initiative is Celine. Okay, Celine. So you're going to have the opportunity to take control of the irregular units, the basic infantry. So basic infantry, artillery and archers, specialists or elite units. I was second guessing myself. Yeah, so specialists, elite units, basic infantry, or ranged units.
I think what makes the most sense, our domain size is 5, right?
Yep, you are maximum domain size. Red plumes are
Okay.
4.
So at 4, Druid has an ability called Bark and Root.
Mm-hmm.
Each infantry and
Martial
artillery
advantage,
unit this commander controls has +2 to toughness. Additionally, each time any unit this commander controls ends its activations, roll a d4. On a 4, their casualty die is incremented by 1, which I assume means they get some health back.
That would be in your units, yes.
Yes. So I like the idea of an artillery that's never going to die. So I think we'll take control of the ranged units.
Tail. That's
I like it.
And we're going to start off strong, I think, using our other domain ability.
Okay.
So as this storm rolls in, you see a group of druids in one of the archery, or next to the artillery pieces.
Yeah. Yep.
And they have this large, like, bark scroll, green, sylvan illuminated on it, and they're reading down it. And the storm that already rolls
Ooh.
in, you see bands come down from it, like tornadoes that just kind of like reach down towards the earth, towards
Ooh.
the enemy units, and then from those lightning strikes down. We're going to use the Scroll of Storms ability.
Okay.
So as an action, the unit with this scroll, it'll be just one of the artillery units.
Okay, one of the Hellfire Trebuchets. Got it.
Sure. They choose a rank on the battlefield, and the storm will move to the back from whatever that rank is. So obviously, we start at the vanguard. Every unit in that rank must succeed on a power test, DC 11 plus domain size,
Ooh, okay.
or suffer 2 casualties.
Damn.
On each of this unit's subsequent activations, the storm moves 1 rank towards the opposing side's rear rank, affecting each unit in that rank. Once the storm affects the opposing side's rear rank, its effect ends. So these like twister like fingers reaching down from the clouds, looking like an angry elemental, just start smiting the units below with bolts of lightning.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really cool. The rest of you kind of watch in stunned, shocked horror as Celine just kind of calmly issues these orders, and you can see these units on the field of battle by which one do you want it to be? Do you want it to be one on the right flank or the left flank?
We'll say left flank.
Left flank.
Near
okay.
the elven thorns.
Give you a sort of a purple
Yeah.
recognize to symbolize your control here. Makes sense. Okay. So yeah, as described, you can hear the storm, and it sort of like moves around and rolls in. The clouds almost like parting around the main forces of the Zhentilar, and you can hear the morale is like on the other side as the storm is literally maneuvering itself around the Stormwatch. It is an unforgettable sight to see this newcomer sort of working with this group of druids to coordinate this ancient magic, and you can actually see a little bit of flavor here, just to kind of more better explain it, rather than have you just kind of sitting there. You can actually see Celine's hair kind of flowing a little bit, and there is this sort of greenish almost like heat-like aura that is emanating from her as she's giving these commands to the druids. And you can see this intensity in the room, the floor almost starting to rumble beneath her feet. So you're all kind of like, whoa, as this outside effect is happening without even noticing, Celine, it's kind of happening to you, just slightly mirroring itself inside of the Shadow Tower as well. The Shadow Tower amplifying your innate and inherent abilities as you kind of summon this storm to call. And all four of them have to make power tests.
Yeah, and you can definitely see like the whipping from that storm, like those twister like reaches. They are matching her movements.
Oh, that's awesome.
Incants. And you see like on one of the flanks, just for flavor reasons, because you know someone's gonna get hurt from this. You just see like one guy, as the wind picks up, just like picked up by his cape and pulled up 100 feet in the air.
Oh no.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it is a power test.
Power
DC
toughness.
11 plus power.
Okay. All
DC
right.
11 plus the domain size. So that would be a 16.
All right. So it's going to be 4d20. Okay, well, the first one is a natural one, so it's going to take an extra catch. So the guy with the cape, I'm going to say, is actually from the infantry here, and with a nat 1, they're going to take 1 additional casualty. And how many casualties? Is it 2 casualties to start?
2 casualties to start.
Oh, shit. Okay, so with a nat 1, the actual Red Plume infantry here, you can see them kind of looking up on the side, and you can see the Stormwatch, the irregulars of the Stormwatch, in all 250 of them, in irregular outfits, all start channeling magic spells or abilities with their magic weapons on this left side. Just you can see all the different colors of the blades and the weapons, and also the magic in their hands. Kind of like over here is like the Avengers Endgame clip where they're all coming out of the portals. That's happening. At the same time, the storm, a bunch of them get thrown up by this tornado over here. They're immediately going to take 3 casualties, come down to 3, and have to make a morale test.
Yeah, it's just like as the irregulars charge, you just see like this thin tornado just tear through the side of the unit.
think that'll.
I'm gonna double check on the morale test. It's DC 13. Okay, yeah. So they just succeed on the morale test unless you want to use your druid card to intensify the storm here, seeing they're about to break, and have them roll at disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna resolve that druid card, as you can see them. And this is a squad of Red Plume regulars, right? So these are like hardcore fashy baddies, and you just kind of intensify that storm that you can see are kind of redirecting the storm just very subtly over there, and that's going to give them disadvantage on the attack, which it's still a 12. Damn, that's all right. So they're just barely holding on with that DC 13 double success there. Now let's do the other two. It's going to be the power test is DC 13 or DC 15?
It is a power test of DC 16.
16
11 plus domain size.
Ooh.
Okay, all right. So that is going to be the second one is a failure, but these are the generals are not going to use their power die on the levies, unfortunately for these poor civilians. So you said two casualty dice on a success. All right, this unit is going to inflict 2 casualties as these poor conscripts are just absolutely decimated by this storm, and you can see the shield maniples kind of following up in those empty gaps as the conscripts sort of run forward into their lines in panic. They're just thrusting with their longswords into or their spears into that line. They're gonna have to make a morale test of DC 20, and they're gonna fail. They are absolutely gonna fail. That is, oh boy.
It took Celine less than a turn to become horrifying.
Yes. They're going to take 1 additional casualty, and they are almost completely decimated. The other ones here, 19 and 19, both succeed. They're able to take cover. You can see the conscripts here beginning to rally and sort of covering themselves, trying to rally back into formation. But that is now. Is that an action you take as a player, or is that as like a main?
As an action, the unit with the
units,
scroll
okay,
chooses
alright.
a rank. So
Right.
that's just one unit's action.
So for this unit here, oops,
Mhm.
I am going to give them a. What do I want to do? I'm going to give the leaf here to say your druids are over there. Okay, so you still have one other Hellfire Trebuchet, and you have the. Well, actually, no, sorry, that was put it in the wrong place. The leaf is going to go
yeah.
here. There we go. Okay.
Gotcha. All right, and with the
The
archers,
archers,
and
yeah.
the artillery, I can target. Is it anywhere, or it's up to? I don't remember.
Artillery can target any units,
Okay.
and you have
because-
adaptable and
Mhm.
also siege engine.
Mhm. And also, all of the units have +2 to size
Hmm.
because of Nature's Boon.
Okay. All right. Each of your units has +2 to size.
Yes.
Outstanding. So what
And,
does Nature's Boon look like?
you can see, like, as the druids finish casting that spell, they kind of channel some of that residual energy, and some of, like, the foliage nearby snakes up the greaves and bracers and around the bows of the archers, adding just like that little bit of sylvan magic as they draw back to fire and release.
That's pretty good stuff. Yeah, let me check as far as your traits. Siege engine. The unit can attack an adjacent fortification. Okay, so we don't actually have any fortifications. We do have adaptable again. You have advantage on morale and command tests for adaptable. So, how would you like to proceed with your archers and the remaining Hellfire Trebuchet?
I think the archers will both lob a volley into the infantry on the right-hand side that dodged the effects of the storm.
Okay. So you said both archers are gonna try to hit this one?
Yes, both archers.
Okay, so to be a d20 on your two archers. On the right and left flanks, d20 +3.
3.
And
The
yep.
first one is a 17 plus 3 for a 20.
Whew, okay, yep.
And the second one, unfortunately, a 2 plus 3 for a 5.
Okay. Let me see. So you had the. You still have the elemental advantage,
Okay,
I
so I do have
believe.
advantage.
I believe, because I think you used the two. Hurricane, I think you used the 2 from Thamus, and I don't think you used the actual elemental.
No.
Yet,
So
so
we'll give advantage there.
yeah, okay, yeah. Now it's completely resolved, and we got one more card thanks to Baba Yaga in the queue. So
11 plus 3 for 14.
ooh, okay, 14. So that is, and the first volley is. Can you ping which ones they're going at?
The archers are firing over here.
Perfect, both of them.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So that's going to be 2 direct hits, and for each one, can you also make a power test as well? So both are going to hit. So each is going to take a casualty. As you can hear from the back, archers, fully, loose, and you just see the whole sky is darkened by this first volley of arrows that goes into the red plumes as they loose this torrent of arrows. Each one here. So it's, and you said it's the you're both of them are going at the infantry?
Yes.
The
Both
same
of them are
same
going at the
infantry?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And so that's going to be 2, and actually this one will go back up to 4. Okay. All right. So they are, the infantry here has become decimated, so they're going to have to make a morale. They fail the morale test, and you can just see red plumes just dropping on either side as the volley just darkens the sky and the storm rolls in and the shield maniples are just crushing and marching forward. I do see Baba Yaga to mix things up, though. That's going to be an adversary card, which is a villain point. So one of them is they're going to have an advantage on their end when it comes time for their turn, regardless of what that is. But okay, so that is both of the archers have now loosed their volley. You have one Hellfire Trebuchet.
Let's see. I do have a fun little thing I can do, but won't do it yet.
Okay.
I think with the trebuchet, Celine sees how well the first strike has been on the front line.
Mm-hmm.
So the trebuchet is going to fire into the right side shield maniple in the center.
Okay. Got it. Make me an attack roll with the Hellfire Trebuchet. As you can hear, Trebuchet, Hellfire, loose, loose. As you can see, this about a half dozen trebuchets all begin to ignite these massive chunks of debris in wood and stone.
What is their plus?
D20 plus 5.
Okay, well that's a 24.
Okay. And this is this shield maniple right here?
The one on the right.
That will definitely hit. Okay. So that's going to inflict. Oh boy. Yowza. That's a lot of damage. Right. They're immediately the maniples here. You can just see these huge chunks of being flown across the field just over the heads of the infantry as they begin crashing into the shield formations. You can hear and see the red plumes scattering, as you can see. Reload! And they just bring the trebuchets back around and begin to reload a second volley as they are adjusting to try and readjust a second. As they're going to make a follow-up attack. They're going to have to... So another D20 plus... Another D20 plus 3 for a power test.
Me rolling?
Yep.
13?
That will not succeed, but they just got hammered. They do have to make a morale test. With a shield maniple, morale plus 3. Yeah, so they're good. It's DC 13. They're able to rally and recover as another volley of chunks. And parts of the battlefield are now on fire. All right, and I believe that is it for Celine.
I think she's done enough.
Yeah. That was beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so the defenders do not move in the first round. So that would bring us to Simeon. So Simeon, you have an entire row of eager Zhentilar infantry ready to advance. You also have the specialist units and the elite units. Which would you like to take command of? Oh, you're muted. In which I do appreciate. Thank you.
Oh, I have a battle question before.
Yes.
So
Sure.
When we defeat a unit, do they get taken off the board? Like when they break?
Yes, they broke. They were removed from the
Yeah,
battlefield.
I was going to ask about our human infantry there in front of the hobgoblins,
Yeah.
if they are in
that
fact
one-
still there or not.
Yeah,
They are. They're at
gone.
1. They're at 1.
Oh, okay.
They're one. Oh,
So
okay.
none
So-
of them have gotten got yet.
Nope, you have one at 1, one at 4, another one at 1, and one at 3. And then you have one in the back at 3. You are absolutely hammering them, but none of the units have broken yet. They break when they break when their die reaches 0.
So anyway, my question was going to be the hobgoblins and the professionals and the elven thorns. Those are specialists.
The hobgoblins are specialists. The professionals are elite. The Elven Thorns are the Drowish Rangers, the Umbral Rangers under the command of Grayana. But the Stormcallers in the back, they are part of the specialist units. The elite units are going to be the Emperor himself, if you want to deploy the dragon, as well as the actual Stormwatch.
And then who's driving the cavalry?
That's done.
We've got the hounds as well as the two units of human cavalry.
You are. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I have to make a quick adjustment. The Hobgoblins, the Drowish Rangers, the Cavalry, and the Cavalry, both iterations of Cavalry, so that would be 4 units, are specialists. That's my mistake.
Okay.
The elite are the Storm Riders, the Outriders, and the Storm Watch. And the Emperor will go on at the end of the turn order. You will.
Okay.
That is a DM controlled unit. Sorry, I had to double check my notes there.
No, that makes sense. Can I take the specialists then?
Absolutely. So that would be the Hobgoblin Infantry, the Umbral Rangers, the Elvish Thorns, and both iterations of Cavalry. Cavalry can attack any unit that is exposed, which for now is their rear, and any rank on the side, right? So laterally. You cannot attack anything in the middle, anything that's surrounded. So.
Alrighty. First attack. I think I'm going to send the cavalry out. Now remind me on opposite targets. If I'm attacking them from the side, there is nothing up behind them. Is it to the left behind them?
Yeah, so
for instance, if I were to have the cavalry attack this catapult here,
sure.
Is the opposite unit the artillery behind it, or is it going to be the Crimson Guard or the peasants or nothing because they're out on the sides?
Right. So artillery can only attack exposed units, right? So cavalry can only attack exposed units. So you can attack if you want to go for the catapult, you can just go for the catapult on the side of the battlefield.
Yes, but I have the charge capability as a fighter.
Okay.
Which allows me to attack something if I succeed. Now, granted, I got to succeed in the first attack.
Sure.
But if I successfully attack on the siege attack, I get to hit something opposite, which in the traditional identification is uppy downy. But since I'm attacking from the sides, does it count as sidey side or not? Mostly that's my question.
I would say you can attack a second unit with that is exposed, but it wouldn't make sense for you to be able to go further in, because further in is not opposite. That makes sense. So basically, once you start collapsing some ranks on the battlefield, there will be ways for the cavalry to move and maneuver, right?
Right.
But on the field of battle, it doesn't really make sense for them to just kind of go charging in between and zigzag from the center of formation. So cavalry is like harassing the outskirts of the battle until they get an opening.
At this time, one of the units of cavalry is going to attack the human cavalry.
Sure thing.
The human artillery.
All right.
With their catapults. And I believe that is gotta go there. Go.
I'm gonna give you a blue token or blue mark there. So I'm also gonna go back over here to the Shadowdale map. Give you all a better idea of what's going on. Okay. So engaged.
I have one small question.
Yes.
If I can ask.
Absolutely.
I think when we were talking about plans, we did say that as long as the fight was going well, we were going to keep the dragon in our pocket to make sure nobody saw it yet.
Sure.
I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
It's up to you as a group.
If everyone thinks that's a good idea.
Sounds good to me.
Not opposed.
Yeah,
no reason to show the ace in the hole unless we need it.
Yep.
Save the dragon
Pretty much. I agree with that.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, right now the Emperor is just kind of hanging back. So if you see at this map here, you have the Outriders. You can hear Gareth Varkin just sort of bark an order as
not the Outriders.
the cavalry. Oh yeah, sorry. So the Outriders. There's the Outriders, the elite units, and then there's
okay.
the rest of the cavalry are also they're also Outriders, but then there's Varkin's personal units, the Hounds.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
sorry about
I was
that.
going to the normal cavalry.
Yes.
Varkin gets to stay in the back for a minute.
Yep. So normal cavalry, also part of the Outriders, but not the Hounds, right? Not the elite, not Gareth's Hounds. So they are maneuvering forward. As you can see, Gareth sort of usher some commands as part of the cavalry begins to charge. When are you having the second cavalry follow up, or are you going to have them go a different way?
I was going to have them go on the other side and basically do a pincer. So to go after the
Perfect.
archers on the left side. So
Got it.
the other set of cavalry goes after these archers here.
Okay, yeah, so you can see as Simeon begins to usher commands to General Gareth Varkin, or usher ideas and seeing the battlefield from a top-down perspective. General Varkin, kind of standing still for now, is able to place his flag up, place his hand up, and sort of gesture to the flag carriers to move and maneuver the Outriders, and he stands at the ready in the back. And just for a little flavor, he's going to move up just a little forward to the left-hand side here, eager to join the fight in the field of battle. Let's go back to the unit cards here. Okay, so we have one there, and the cavalry begins to charge, just making their way in mass
Doing what they do.
through the battlefield in a charge and a pincer movement. Okay.
Lances at the ready, and they go. So
All
I
right.
believe that it's a D20 plus 3.
D20 plus
For
3
each?
on the... they have sort of advanced catapults. Yep, they have long-range catapults.
Okay, so against the catapult. That's a natural 20.
What?
Or sorry,
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. My bad.
Yep, okay, right, no worries. Okay.
And then against. Okay, so that's. We'll resolve that one first.
Okay.
So.
Yep, so that's going to be 2. Okay, the cavalry comes charging into the catapult artillery division here. As you can see, the pincer movement just begin to run through the side behind the siege engines, and you can see them, spears and blades at the ready, just cutting down the siege engineers on the right flank here. They're going to take two casualties. Okay. And gonna go ahead and make a power test, so D20 plus 3 to beat a 9 toughness.
That would be me.
Yep, that would be you. D20 plus 3. I'm gonna beat a 9.
Another dirty 20.
Okay, yeah. No, that is definitely going to bring them down to 1. And they're going to make a morale test. They succeed, so they do not break, but they suffer more casualties. As you can see, the Outriders just sweeping through the rear line of this cavalry as the Crimson Guard prepares to form up for a forward advance in the back, as they're frantically shouting, gesturing over at the cavalry sweeping through the catapults. Anything else on
Actually,
that? Yes.
Rather than a charge, I'm going to use a strafe on that.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to use my reaction to let those cavalry hit the Crimson Guard.
Okay.
Because I successfully made a power attack against a unit. An opposed artillery unit, in fact. So I need to make a DC 13 command test.
Okay. So D20 plus 1. As you swing wide. Wow. God damn. The Outriders kind of
That's
swinging around. As you can hear the screams, and seeing the Crimson Guard, they kind of wheel around, and as they do, you can just hear them, and they just kind of all shift over and take out spears and just begin thrusting with their opposite arms and hands into the Crimson Guard. And the Crimson Guard...
And also the peasants in front. Because I get 2 with the strafe.
Oh, shit, okay. So do you roll again, or do you just use that?
No, on a success against that DC 13 command test, 2 adjacent opposed units in the same rank as the target unit suffer when... Oh, sorry, in the same rank. My apologies. Two opposed units in the same rank as the target, the initial target, which would have been the catapults, each take 1 casualty.
Yep. Okay, and
Never mind, I don't go after the Crimson Guard after all.
okay. So does the catapult take 1 additional casualty then?
No, 2 other units on the same rank as the catapult do.
Okay, okay. Which would be
I guess the longbows and the next catapults?
sure.
Or if you're going to do front, because I'm on the flank, it could be the Crimson Guard and the peasants. It's up to you.
We'll do the Crimson Guard on the peasants. That makes more sense to me. Well, actually, yeah, that makes more sense to me. I'm gonna alter the rules a little bit and say that it can be same. I'm gonna say it can be the same column or the same row.
I figured because I'm attacking from the side,
Yeah.
it makes sense to be column rather
I
than
agree.
rank.
Yeah. So each of them is gonna
Stupid cavalry making
suffer.
it difficult.
No, I mean, it makes sense to me logistically to kind of strafe along the side there and to not get too deep into their lines. Okay. All right, that's it for the cavalry on the right, I believe, on the right flank.
Yes.
All right, cavalry left flank.
Cavalry on the left going against those longbowmen hits a 16 with the attack.
Okay, against defense of 10, that'll definitely hit.
So then the power is also a +3. So an 18 on the power attack.
Okay, yep, that'll
Or on a
be
power roll.
2 casualties. Okay. As the cavalry sweeps around left, also storming, and you can see them slam into the archers here on the left flank. And the archers kind of in a panic as you can see them kind of release a counter volley against the archers here, against the cavalry here, who are just masterfully dodging. A few of the cavalry on your side are kind of hit the ground from this fire at will command, but they're able to slam into the archers on the left flank, the red plume archers. Their plumes kind of like crashing down onto the ground. 2 casualties. And any follow-ups with that cavalry?
Now, remind me on this, the reactions that are available, is that per unit or is that per active or per general or commander?
Per
Basically, kind of use that strafe attack again.
I want to say... Ooh, that's a really good question to bring up to the server. I think for now... I'm going to say... Let me actually just read the... I'm going to see if there's a thing on just regular old actions and turns. That might actually...
Because if it's only 1 reaction per commander, then I'm done with that.
I'm looking at the book. It says each one has the maneuver, which implies that each unit can do it.
Yeah, okay. I'll go with that. Yeah, again, could be a good question to ask the server, so yeah.
But I might be incorrect.
No,
That
hey,
seems
you know,
great.
I'm going to go with that. So go ahead
It
and...
makes sense for now.
Yeah, do it again.
So that'll be another command test. Command test. So it's just +1, which is a 6. I don't get that one, so I don't get the
Okay.
strafe.
All right. So... no strafe, but you do inflict 2 casualties. Perfect. All right. So the outriders come crashing into the left flank as well in a beautiful pincer movement. And that's it for the two cavalry?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
all right.
that for
You
them.
also have the hobgoblin infantry.
Yes, the hobgoblins
And
are going to walk into
thorns.
that first rank and try and mop them up.
You got it. And you have Warbread.
Which means I get to do as a reaction to a succeeding on a power test, make up DC 10 command test, and go again.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Nice.
You can see the hobgoblin infantry here just in the black and gold, right? Just hold up these. They have sort of like bladed axes, right? Most of their weapons of choice there, as they just kind of like let out this roar, this as they begin charging into battle in the black and gold plate. All right, so the first one is a 12.
A 12.
That will hit. Defensive 12 on the infantry.
Alrighty.
All right, and as the hobgoblins just charge in to these red plume infantry, go ahead and just describe how the hobgoblins mop up this regular division of red plumes. What are we witnessing happening on the battlefield as they just charge in, bladed axes in hand?
The hobgoblins, knowing who the red plumes are, have left absolutely no semblance of mercy or any sense of honor to. They don't deserve it at this point. This is definitely, we're getting our revenge for the depredations that the red plumes have put in the human law against the rest of the hobgoblin tribes, and so they are just wailing in with axes, going straight for their bannermen to claim a trophy for their war hall.
Outstanding. Yeah, that 100% makes sense. All right, so this is the first time a unit has broken.
And then I gotta make a power test on that then?
So you can follow up, I believe. Which would be...
It's a +2, I think.
Okay. Hang on, let me get to the follow-up.
Oh, right, because they broke.
Yes, they are broken.
Right, I gotta go to the follow-up. There's a thing for follow-up. Hold on.
Yes, okay. As a reaction to an opposed unit adjacent to this unit breaking, you can make a DC 8 command test. On a success, you can move into its former space. And with adaptable, it's but wait, there's more.
But wait.
Morale and command
The hobgoblins
tests.
are not adaptable? At least
Oh,
don't say
you're
they
right.
are.
You're right. Warbred. I'm sorry. You're correct.
They're gonna go for the next chop, but
So that's going to be a DC 8 command test for the
that's
hobgoblins.
+1 for the command.
Yeah.
That's a 17.
You got it. So you see the hobgoblins actually absolutely just demolish. Lord Bayron, hello. Thank you so much for wishing us a wonderful session. We are doing a little Kingdoms in Warfare tonight. Let's see if also our friends did no, they didn't come back. Shout out at the Lord Bayron. And again, Telltale, thank you so much. I'll give you a shout out a little later. Helldivers 2. Democracy. Outstanding. Thank you, Bayron. Oh, the Kingdoms in Warfare. Actual warfare for once. All right, so this human infantry unit is just broken. And the hobgoblins are going to move into that space. Just advancing. And let's go back to the main battle map here. Shadowdale. This cavalry here has close distance. The regular Red Plumes infantry here has been completely dismantled. And the hobgoblins are moving forward, closing ranks here. Okay. Standing. Back to the tokens. All right. And would you like to move on to the Umbral Rangers with the Elvish Thorns? They can attack any unit. They do not have to leave the center rank.
Can I finish my Warbred attack?
Yes, what's the follow-up there?
So Warbred, after I successfully make a hit, I can do it again.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I was going to make another attack. But since I did a follow-up to move into that space, I'm going to... Can I hit the maniple to the diagonal?
That is a good question.
I think I can only do upsy-downy.
Yeah, I think you can only do upsy-downy as well. Front, back, left, or right.
Yeah, okay. Didn't want to womp on the peasants, but I guess I'll womp on the peasants. The hobgoblins will go into will crash into the peasant line behind the original frontline infantry.
Bloodthirst. I love it. Okay, let's go.
And roll 1.
Oh, okay. All right. So they are, they're going to leave themselves slightly exposed there with that natural 1, kind of a little bit bloodthirsty. Not entirely bad, but the next attack against them will have advantage. Okay. And would you like to switch over to the Umbral Rangers with the Elvish Thorns?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like the Elvish Thorns to strike the longbow in the center rank.
Got it. You just hear in Drowish these commands. What do you say to Grayana underneath, who is on the field of battle commanding, by the way? She's on the field in her battle armor with the Umbral Rangers. And there's collectively about 600 of them that have assembled here. They have called every last member of their house that still lives, and they are fighting alongside Grayana underneath on the field of battle right now.
Grayana, let loose your arrows, darken their sky, launch a volley.
And she does. You can kind of see her kind of just direct, and there is this blackened cloud of like sort of dark black smoke and purple shadow that just begins to roil over the battlefield, and it's just this slow moving roiling black cloud just moves up and over, and you can hear some of the other shield maniples just like wait, look at this kind of up, just break as it's almost like a shrapnel explosion as these thousands of what seem to be like sort of like, it's almost like a hail of thorns as these arrows kind of just magically launch themselves into the center rank here. Go ahead and roll a d20 plus 8.
So to hit, I'm using the volley action, which allows me to hit 3 targets.
Volley, okay, perfect. Yep.
So I got to make a command test first at DC. I was looking at it just a second ago.
So you can use that first roll if you want to do that,
13?
which was... Yep.
Yeah. Which is a success.
Yep. Okay, so they're able to utilize that maneuver as that cloud kind of extends left and right with the volley.
So 2 adjacent opponents in the same rank as that target each take 1 additional casualty, on top of the 16 that I used to hit with the attack against the longbows first. So longbows are the primary attack, and the 2 catapults each take 1 casualty from the spillover.
Okay. All right. So catapults take... That's too much. Catapults take 1. This catapult takes 1. And the artillery also take 1? The archers also take 1?
The archers, I hit a 16. I don't know if that defeats their...
16...
What have you.
Yep, is higher than 10, so yes.
Ah, okay.
All right, so then I will need...
I don't want to assume.
No, that's perfect. So then I will need a... I will need
5?
A power test for just the center, just the longbowman. Because I think it only would apply to 1 target. Yep. D20 plus 5. 22? Is that it?
That is it, yes.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember what Elf Shot does for me here.
Yeah, it kind of just rains down on them. Let's take a look. Let's see what we got for Elf Shot.
When this unit succeeds on a power test as part of an attack, the unit must succeed on a DC 10 test or become weakened until its next activation.
Ooh, okay.
So they need to make a DC 10 power test or be weakened.
They're at a 4. Power. It's 2. Yep, they succeed. Okay,
They're not damaged by the shadowy power.
That is all right. So Elf Shot, Mobile, and Eternal.
These are not dead, so Eternal doesn't do me any good. And Mobile, I didn't move them.
Okay, fair enough. All right,
so that was the Thorns, and the 2 Archers, and the Hobgoblins. I believe that is it for me.
Outstanding. Okay. All right, Clem, do you want to take the entire reserve line, or would you like to take the elite units, which would be the Storm Rider Wyverns, the Stormwatch, and Gareth Varkin and the Hounds? Blot out the sun, yeah.
Well, I have a question. So
Yes.
I'm multi-classing.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I understand, do I have to choose between barbarian or sorcerer advantages?
That would be... is it based on your level or based on your domain power size? That's another good question for the server. Anybody here?
Based on my readings, it is the domain power, or it's the domain power set, not your individual.
Okay, so that means that theoretically one could do both.
That's what I think. That's how I read it. At
Martial advantages. Okay. Oh, multi-class characters can choose martial advantages from any of their classes. For example, a wizard druid can choose from either or. Okay.
Those choices are permanent once made.
Yeah, so you have to pick one. Sorry.
So I have to pick one or the other.
Yes. Yep. Now I know. Hey, now I can report back to the server. Like, hey, we had some interesting questions that came up. And Ange is next.
Each time they gain a new one based on their domain size. Okay.
And since we started at 5, we don't learn that power.
That's page 111.
Okay, so does that mean I only have one?
Well, it means you choose a path, and you stick to that path. So you can choose all of the barbarian or all the sorcerer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you get one tier.
Oh, because it looks like, because the way it's saying it, it's saying that I can, whenever I get the option to choose one, I can choose from either or. So it's almost like I can bounce around between them.
I'm gonna say sure, but like, it's up to you to keep track of that. It would make it a little complicated, but if you're okay with keeping track of that, I trust you on our system. So
yeah, no, because he's spicy. He's magic and muscles.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it mean that do we have 5 each then?
Yeah.
Or...
Everybody has 5.
Okay.
Everybody has all 5 martial advantages, but no more than 5 per person.
Yeah. Okay. Then with that, it looks like all the infantry is essentially like the frontliners are taken.
So what's available is the elite units. So the Storm Riders, the Storm Watch, which is the professionals. The Storm Riders are the Storm Callers. And the Hounds of Dalrath are the Outriders commanded by General Gareth Varkin himself. Or there is an entire line of reserves, which is 5 regular infantry members, regular infantry battalions.
Yeah, the whole second rank is also free.
Yeah,
I'll just take the whole second rank then, I guess.
Okay. I will say that it makes more sense thematically to have and I will potentially be giving a bonus if it happens that way to have if Thamus wants to take control of the infantry, I will give that an actual bonus. I will say that'll be like flanking. I'll say that'll be a permanent +2 to hit if you give the soldier command of the infantry. You take the specialist.
That is totally fine with me because
most of my paladin stuff actually
I
get a lot of bonuses off of infantry for that too.
Yep.
Yeah, Clem just wants to be in the thick of the fight, so I mean he doesn't really.
Well, that would give you the chance to deploy the Wyvern Riders, the Storm Riders, who are also remaining in the back. The Storm Watch, right, which is basically your scenario where you have like Avengers Endgame, the portals opening, or the Hounds of Dalrath, the elite cavalry commanded by General Gareth Varkin himself. You have all 3 of those.
Let's go with the I guess the professionals Stormwatch.
So yep, the Stormwatch as a whole. So you're going to start there. All 3 of them are yours. The command.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to give you a little green to represent. Actually, let's do pink.
Yes, please.
Let's do pink. Okay. There you go. Okay, so the Storm Riders first, the Outrider Cavalry Commanders first, or the Stormwatch first? Where would you like to start?
Well, I think we can go with the.
Lost my headphones.
You're good. The Storm Callers first.
Okay, the Storm Rider Wyvern Company as represented by the Storm Riders. Okay, so we are deploying the Storm Riders for the first time. Okay, Spicy, where do you want to send them?
So I guess that is a thing. So I think their movement. Let's see, how far can these guys go? My computer is running so slow today.
They are aerial units, so they can attack any unit on the battlefield.
Beautiful. All right, then with that, I think we will go. So as a sorcerer, they do have the ability invisibility.
Okay, all right.
So I think thematically it'd be really fun for these Storm Riders to be invisible. So
Ooh,
it's,
oh, that's fucking terrifying.
actually,
Holy
let's
shit.
see. Each unit this commander controls starts the battle hidden. And they cease to be hidden when it inflicts one or more casualties on another unit.
Okay, all
So
right.
I guess if it's the whole commander, is that all three of them then?
That
Each
is...
unit?
Is that what it says? Each unit that the commander commands?
Yeah. At the start of combat, each unit the commander commands
Yeah, okay,
starts the
so
combat invisible.
as the Stormwatch kind of like pop out of the portals and begin summoning magic, you just kind of... You can see Clem kind of giving these commands and speaking to the commanders, and Nazgris, I think, is at one point also directing commands through his own magic. And you can see like little bits of flowers and strange smells and color sprays, just kind of like almost like a weird trip, sort of this aura around Clem. As this is happening, the Stormwatch kind of just, there's like this ripple effect that ripples through the battlefield as the Hounds of Dalra, the Hounds, the Outriders, the Storm Riders, and the Storm Watch kind of just shimmer. And you can see from above these fields where you can see the motions, right? But they kind of blend in. It's like perfect magical camouflage. And you can hear Nazgris kind of shout back sort of through the telepathic link, "I don't know what you did, but that is damn impressive."
Hell yeah.
It's like it's like Valkyria Chronicles, where all the commanders are just chatting on the radio and screaming at each
Yeah.
other like in these little quips. It's great.
I also want to have sorceress training, so each unit has advantage on power tests to resist battle magic and the traits of special units. So
Okay.
just give them a little extra protection, and then yeah, we'll send the Storm Riders
Please
forward.
remind me that they have that.
Yes.
And they, when I start attacking, they are okay. Aerial. Am I looking at? Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the back here. They have a bunch of extra stuff to them. Adaptable. Bless the reins. I'm curious about that.
Me too.
And then ride the lightning. Oh, it's not actually on here.
But I think I would like to have them start attacking the artillery that's in place.
Ooh, it doesn't actually say what these things do. That is slightly problematic. How do I figure out what these traits are? It's the adventure. They might be in the back. Specialty units? Ooh, nope. I mean, y'all are actually crushing it, so I'm gonna say we'll hold off on whatever that means for now, because I don't know.
Yeah, it's an ace in the hole, potentially.
Yeah, because it should say... Maybe if I go to the... Hang on, let me check the glossary. Let's just go with Bless the Rains. I don't know if there is a glossary or an index though. Nope, just the OGL.
Well, while you're working on that, I'll go look that up for you.
Yeah, thank you. That might have been one of the specialty units that they released separately.
Oh,
Would
maybe.
be unfortunate, yeah. All right, well, in the meantime, thank you for looking that up. I appreciate you. We are looking for hidden. Here we go.
Yes.
Other units have disadvantage. Okay, when a unit is hidden, other units have disadvantage on attack tests against it. Ah, that's unfortunate. It doesn't really do anything when you attack.
That's okay.
But I'm gonna say
thematic.
what I am gonna say is, it says bless the rains and ride the lightning. So I'm gonna say that that's definitely gonna give them advantage for sure, because we don't know what those things do, and while we're trying to look it up exactly what it is that they do, we are going to give them advantage on that first attack. That makes sense. So who do you want to have the Storm Riders hit?
Can the player give the DM inspiration for being cool?
Well, you have advantage because you're hidden. So
no,
that's a good start.
I'm just complimenting you.
Thank you.
Let's destroy the artillery.
Okay.
Found it.
Thank you. Which artillery? So the entire center rank is considered artillery. So you have two battalions of archers and 2 divisions of artillery with their catapults. One of the catapults has sustained heavy damage. That's the one on the right next to the cavalry. You can sweep in and try to eliminate that catapult division if you want.
Might as well, yeah.
Okay.
Knock them down while they're out.
Okay. So you hear this series of like screeches, like ow! I choked on that one. And these like chittering roars, it's like as these sounds echo through the battlefield. They're gonna fly over in this direction. Go ahead and make a DC 20 plus 7 attack test on the human artillery at advantage, please.
All right, give me a moment as I change the battery in my mouse. JK, that is not the right battery size. Let me do trackpad. $15 to hit.
Okay. What I am gonna say is if you wanna keep that 8.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, it's with advantage.
Right, but hold on. But I am gonna say though that the ride the lightning would be thematic. So what you do is you make as this unit's action coming in on the lightning, you can also choose to make a DC 15 power test at advantage because of the being hidden. Each unit adjacent to it. So each adjacent unit to that catapult will have to make a DC 15 power test or suffer 2 casualties. It is already raining.
I like that.
It is already raining
Okay.
because of the storm that rolled in. It's right now it's a gentle drizzle, but it's still damp, right? It's barely, you can barely feel it. It's actually raining a little heavier on the red plume side, but it's like scattered, partly cloudy. You can still see some sunlight coming through the clouds here on the other side. Which is really nice because that would give you,
I mean,
yeah.
Let's blow them up.
Okay. So they're going to come down riding the lightning. Let me adjust my camera real quick. I'm going to put it a little bit further down because I'm doing a lot of like hunching over and I realize I'm like kind of hidden. Okay. What am I looking at here?
So if I go for the damaged one, I believe you said it's the catapult?
That is the catapult. Yep, so that's going to be as it's already raining.
So if it's all the adjacents, it'd be the peasants, longbow, horses, and crimson guard.
Everything.
Wow.
That would also include one of your cavalry units, but they're at full strength though. So you wanna ride the lightning or release some potential friendly fire? It won't be that bad, but you'll definitely take out the catapults.
I think instead, not wanting to hurt the cavalry, I'll go for the longbow instead.
You got it.
So that way I can hit the catapults on both sides, the infantry and the maniples.
Perfect. Okay. So as the light rain drizzle continues to fall, the ground is wet, the armor is wet, the storm and those scattered tornadoes just kind of cracking, and the wind ripping through the battlefield. This flash of sort of energy just kind of rippling through the air as you hear these screeches, this combination of like chittering and wraith-like screeches with these sort of like roaring inhales just kind of begins to form above the longbowman, you said here?
Yes, the one that's in between the
Perfect.
two catapults.
Okay, and just this long series of lightning just begins to shoot down from the sky and the swirling vortex. So that is going to be, and go ahead and roll at advantage because you're hidden. Let's just see if you get a crit, because crits do matter.
Okay, so I am rolling for this at least.
Yep. So I'm gonna keep the 8 because that would be the first roll. So that would be an 8 plus 6 for power test. Oh, sorry, command test. 8 plus 5. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Which would succeed, but roll at advantage to see if you crit on that command test.
Okay, so is it just another d20?
Just another d20. I just want to see if you crit. Maybe because the unit was hidden thanks to your magic.
A 10.
Okay, better, but not a crit. So the lightning comes down, and each of those units must succeed on a DC 15
DC
power
15
test.
power test.
Target unit and each adjacent unit to it, except for 2 casualties if the terrain is rain. Okay, recharge on a 6. You can actually recharge that ability. That's crazy. All right, so each one of them needs to make a DC 15 power test. That's a lot of rolls. So let's start with the artillery first, and then we'll go left and right. And then we'll go the infantry. And then the maniple and the peasants. And then the infantry and the Crimson Guard. All right. So the first unit, and it's a power test. C15.
Yep.
DC 15. That's so good. God damn. Okay, so power 12 failed. As a 5 failed and a nat 1. Okay, so 2. The center unit is going to take 2 casualties. The catapults are going to take 2 casualties because of the moisture. Okay, so as this massive torrent of electricity just this massive lightning storm begins decimating the far ranks, and then the wyverns come down and uncloak themselves, right? And you can see all the wyverns, there's about roughly 30 of them, come screaming and careening down. And wyverns are large creatures with scorpion-like tails. They're like miniature dragons. They have long, sharp, jagged teeth, sort of horns that arc back, leathery skin, and these draconic wings. There's about 30 to 32 of them that come screeching down in this lightning storm. As that's happening and this lightning storm is brewing, please tell us how this catapult division on the right flank is destroyed.
So they're going to just rush in and as they do, they bring the storm with them, bring the winds down on them, and all of the soldiers don't have the time to react as they are essentially pushed to the ground. And right as they sweep past, that's when the lightning starts to crack down and just bombard everyone in almost like an airstrike fashion across all of these areas. And then they fly right back up in the air, ready to start striking more places across this army.
Okay. All right. Outstanding. The catapults over here on the Nat 1 are going to take an additional casualty. So
Lovely.
they're going to go down to 2. Then they have to make a morale test.
Stormwatch is very fitting today.
Yes.
Yep. It's
I think
almost
we
like it was
upgraded the storm warning. I think.
They succeed.
Well, we had tornadoes here for the past like 2 days, so you know.
Oh,
So it was it's very fitting.
I appreciate
Okay.
the Florida core situation going on.
The infantry up in the back rolls a 16, so they take no damage, no casualties. They're able to avoid it. The maniples down at the bottom succeed. Maniples to the left succeed. Maniples to the right succeed. The infantry on the top left fail. And the Crimson Guard succeeds. So that infantry is going to go down to 4. Okay. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay. All right, that's the Storm Riders. And anything else for the Storm Riders?
I do not believe so, as far as I am aware.
Okay. And we can have them sort of up over here. They're aerial, so we can say they kind of swept in right over there. Okay. Let's go over and update this in real time on the map.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah.
There's another power the Storm Riders have.
Yes.
They're
Pterodactyls.
pterodactyls. As a
Yes.
reaction to making an attack, it forces the target to succeed a morale check or become disoriented. This is an option, but it is fun.
Is it as a reaction?
As a reaction, for Clem,
Yep.
he can force one of the units that he attacked to succeed a morale test of DC of 8 plus unit size. I'm dropping the narrative. I just
Okay.
realized since this one has all of the fancy things that are in the other book,
Sure.
I just realized I should go pull
That
that
would
one through
be
as well.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Would you like to have the archers make a morale test as a reaction?
Let's see. There's the archers. My man.
I think it has to be the unit you attack.
Yeah. So yes. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
All right, one more morale
More
test.
shit for them to deal with.
Yeah, they succeed. Okay, so they're able to boot and rally there. And as the Storm Riders have been revealed, they're kind of circling above. That would bring us over to the. You have the Hounds of Dalrath, and you have the Professionals.
I think I'm going to. Okay, so how many? Okay, so I use the visibility in that. I think as an action, then I would like to use the. Let's see. The hounds the professionals and the hounds. How far can the hounds move up? Can they just get right with that cavalry up there that we have, or no?
They can attack any unit.
Okay, then that
Is there cavalry?
perfect. Okay. then yeah, I think I will have them go up with the cavalry. Or actually, you know what? Let's have them go to the human peasants where the hobgoblins are.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Kinda
They can attack any unit that's exposed, which would be the peasants above the hobgoblins.
Yeah, those ones. Yep.
All right. So General Gareth kind of wheels around back, up to the side here, and towards the levies. Okay. Alrighty, he's moving
just
in.
Try and hit them from the side.
And I'm actually going to move the Stormcallers on a diagonal so you can see that there's a space there.
Yes.
All right, so that's going to be a d20 plus 4. And Scourge of the Wild. That's interesting.
I think that one's only against elves or something.
Oh, okay.
That is a CX. Could I use one of the power die?
Absolutely.
Use the 7 to make it a 13?
You absolutely can do that. Let's go over to the power pool, the hot tub.
The hot tub?
Yeah, that's what it is. It looks like a hot tub.
It does, actually.
Okay, so the 7, that would be Hurricanes.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
And by the
If
way,
you wouldn't mind.
the power die
Yeah,
belong
no.
to everybody.
Yeah, no, by all
It's
means.
it's sort of like a common courtesy type thing. Like, hey, make sure to ask for use a power die.
yeah.
So you
no,
can
by
do
all
the
means.
same thing on your turn. You can be like, oh, I'm just gonna grab one of these dice.
Yeah,
All right. So
and you can use it and add it to any roll,
yep, any roll.
like you said.
Yep.
Cool.
Let's do that. That would bring that up to a 13, and that would succeed on the levies here. So go ahead and inflict 2 casualties on the levies, bringing them back down to 3 as the levies here and their basic chainmail and red plumes, they can just see General Gareth with the blade up, charging with the black armor, cloak flowing in the wind. Right, kind of one eye closed, just comes sweeping in from the side as they kind of almost back up in fear. The cavalry slams into these levies. Levies are going to have to make a morale test, which they somehow are able to succeed on miraculously as you slam in, inflicting 2 to them. So Scourge of the Wild, I'm going to actually change that. It doesn't really make sense for that. So I'm going to change that to just be sort of Scourge, and I'm going to have it apply to any enemy units. So I'm going to say, as a +2 to attack and +2 to power, I'm just going to say in general, +2 attack, +2 to power. So you're going to have to make that's a power test. And roll a d20 plus 5, please. See if they suffer 1 more casualty.
15.
Against their toughness, you do.
Very nice.
Okay. I'm going to double check on morale, see how many times morale rolls happen. Let's see. Morale. Martial advantages.
Simeon, since you're our expert researcher,
I just had Google, man. What's
yeah,
up?
just Google. I just wanted to know what the Into the Breach ability is for the professionals.
Ooh, you got it. That's good. I think that gives you a bonus to...
When you make the follow-up move, you get a +2 to all of your defense after you move into that spot.
Morale test once per battle. So it's good. And 1 morale
Okay.
test. It is rallied, and Scourge of the Wild will then apply because it's just bonuses to rolls. So I think that's it for the hounds, the Outrider hounds.
Okay.
That would bring you to the professionals, magic resistant, pike training, and into the breach, which is a specific trait.
Okay. So since I'm using this other unit, I can use an action for them as well, correct or no?
Yes, you have. So each unit has
Okay.
its own actions. So we have
Okay.
essentially commanders taking control of multiple units.
Okay. Then I will have the professionals use the. They're going to use a scroll of earthquake.
Okay. Ooh, nice. Yeah. Hey, they are like the Avengers, so they absolutely can do that.
They're going to target the Crimson Guard.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
So the Crimson Guard has to make a power test, DC 13 plus DS.
5.
So wait,
DC 18.
DS? I'm sorry, I'm confused.
DC 18.
DC 18, okay.
Because it domain size. That DS is domain
Oh,
size.
domain size.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah, thank you. So they have to make a DC 18?
Yeah, and then if they fail, they suffer 2 casualties and become disorganized.
And you said a power test?
Yes.
Okay, they succeed. It was just an 18.
Oh, come on.
They rolled they have a +6 to power. They
I
are like the elite.
understand.
That's okay. I've got more lightning coming soon.
So that is you kind of release you issue the order for this, and they can kind of see it happening. They're able to adjust, and as the sort of the Avengers here, right, the professionals are trying. The Stormwatch tries to summon one of these scrolls, casting it, kind of directing it towards the back. You can see the earth kind of start to rumble, but it's not the effect that you wanted. They're sending magic over there, and it's just like a. You can feel the rumble, but it's like a 3.4 magnitude.
Worth a shot, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely worth a shot. You might as well give it a try. So,
All right. But that is an action for them, so I
Okay.
guess that's it.
okay, all right. Outstanding. That would bring us to Thamus. And that leaves the infantry. And because of who you are and your backstory and your history, you're going to get a static +2 to attack to all checks, right? Attack rolls and attack rolls and power tests. Well, I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna be a flat. I'm gonna give you a flat +2 to all abilities and attacks.
Oh, this is gonna get a little ridiculous.
You have the entire line of infantry to command.
Okay. That's later. We don't have anything broken. First things first, Hell's Hammer, each infantry unit I control has advantage on power tests against undead. There's no undead. Blessing of Speed. Each infantry unit I control makes an additional attack.
Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah, this is kind of perfect.
And Scroll of Templar's Blessing. As an action, the unit with this scroll chooses a unit until the end of the battle. The unit size increases by 2, gains an additional attack, and automatically succeeds on command tests.
I'm gonna read along with you on these because this is a lot of information. Okay.
If you're on the PDF, it's page 115.
Yep. Okay. Paladin and martial advantages. Okay. So
4
Wow.
and 5.
Yep. Okay. So that'd be cavalry unit. So each infantry and cavalry unit on this is advantage on power tests. Okay, that's not gonna work. Listening speed. So one additional attack. You looking at Blessing of Speed?
Blessing of Speed and Scroll of Templar's Blessing.
Nice. Okay. Okay, so as an action, the unit with this scroll chooses another unit. Till the end of battle, that unit size increases by 2. All right, so who do you want to give the scroll to? Who do you want to give the scroll to? Because we can say any unit can just pass that along to any other unit, so. Wherever you deem it appropriate.
You know what? Looking at this. Looking at the map, we're gonna probably just go up. We'll just save the one on the far left. 'Cause
Okay.
We're just gonna.
Sure.
Everyone's just gonna go all in.
So they're going to have the scroll, which means that they can bless any unit on the battlefield. So who do you want to, which unit do you want to have its size increased? You can do a cavalry, artillery, the storm riders, any of the elite units.
Do we have anybody that hasn't done any? Do we have anyone that's still hidden?
The Stormwatch are technically still. Nope, they tried to use the Scroll of Earthquake. Cavalry moved in. Nobody's still hidden. Everyone has been exposed. Or revealed, I should say.
Well, I think the professionals are not, because they didn't inflict any casualties.
Okay, that's fair.
In which case, we'll give it to them.
Okay, so their size is going to increase to 8 instead of up from 6. Okay, so what does that look like? What does this blessing look like as you sort of bestow it from you to the left flank infantry to the clerics and paladins embedded within? What does this mass blessing look like on the battlefield? Like, what's the visual effect that we see other than like a flash of gold and light?
A flash of golden light, or we'll call it the auras of the soldiers from previous generations. Kind of like, but not identical to the diff tabs. To the spirit guardians, the aura.
Okay. All right. So this flash of golden and sort of white light on the battlefield, as you can see, this long series of soldiers just kind of casting spells, casting these flashes of golden white light, just as this magic sort of surrounds this rippling void, and kind of there's like this prismatic light show happening that sort of absorbs into the professionals as they are granted this blessing. Now, that also gives you 4 additional units to work with. So anything with a yellow dot here, gonna mark it. Yellow, 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 yellow. These are your infantry to command. Where do you want to send them? Also, these infantry can move up as well.
We're going to send them. We're just gonna send everybody forward to attack.
By the way, a good question here that I should know. Where is the speed of a unit? I don't think it's on the card.
I think it's just 1.
Yeah.
Unless it says it is.
It says otherwise. Okay. All right, so you're
Unless
gonna...
you're
I was looking at that earlier.
Yeah, so moving the
Yeah,
infantry
flying and
forward...
cavalry gets to go wherever, but like infantry,
Yeah.
just go 1.
Okay.
Just go 1.
Oh, so
So-
would that mean that the infantry can't really do much this turn?
They can press.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna move them up.
Except I will potentially have a thing that could teleport them across if we need to.
Oh,
That's neat.
that might be handy. Is that a reaction that you can use?
No, it's just an action, unfortunately.
Okay. What they can do, there's a bunch of other maneuvers. Let's see what would be appropriate here. as far as additional stuff we can do. Ranks, casualty dice. Here we go. Okay. Faint. An action, choose an adjacent opposed unit. Empty space adjacent to that unit. That wouldn't technically apply there. Find cover, follow up. Oh. You're not a barbarian though.
No.
No, but I am.
Yeah, is that what you were talking about? The rage charge?
No, Rage Charge is one of them, no, but I'm talking about the translocation for sorcerers. But yeah, there's a lot of... Unfortunately, the units that I have aren't considered light infantry, so any of the barbarian stuff that I'm going to pick to have saved for other stuff, I cannot use for the ones I'm currently assigned.
Okay. By the way, I'm going to make some reactions up here for the I'm going to brace for charge from the levies and the artillery. Yeah, okay. So the artillery unit and the infantry here are going to brace for charge. So they're going to both make... So this is retroactive for the artillery that got killed. But we're just going to see if they were able to defend at all. So they're going to make a command test, which succeeds. And then the levies are also going to make a command test, which fails. So against the hounds. So the cavalry unit on the right flank is going to suffer 1 casualty.
Okay.
As they braced was set for charge.
I will have Fire Shield active as well, should any of my units get attacked.
Okay.
Oh yeah, how many... Remind me on the cards where the number of wounds, max wounds are located?
So what I'm doing is the unit size are the max wounds, but if you click on each token, you'll see the floating... Can you see the floating bubbles above the
I can
heads?
see no floating items. Yeah, we can fight that later.
Shit. Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to do that for each token. So
No worries.
I mean, I can
I just
answer.
I was looking to make sure that 6 is my max for my cavalry, for instance.
Yeah,
so, now it
6
got knocked down to a 5.
6 is your match, so it's down to a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
No,
don't think. Yeah, I think that
That is what I needed to know.
these levies, did they fail a morale test? Can't remember. It's okay. We'll come back to it.
These ones? I don't think so.
Okay.
I
I
don't
think they just took a lot of damage.
These ones passed a morale test. I don't know if these ones even made one.
Okay. And mobility trap.
Oh, that's an empty trick.
Oh,
I love mobility trap.
Those cavalry or area 6 attacks. Requires barbarian or monk martial advantage.
I have those, yeah.
I don't have.
Yep.
Some of these are actually specific to units only. Some of them are actually specific to players only.
Yes.
Or officers only, which there are no barbarians or monks in the Red Plumes ranks. So the only thing they can do, though, is the set for charge. The brace. Okay. So what you can do is you can put your shields up, because all the infantry have tower shields. It's just that the shields for the basic infantry are a little bit lighter, more mobile. They're sort of like smaller versions of that, so they can be more mobile.
In that case, then that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Okay, so that means.
Oh no, Fithagan is... There we go, never mind.
So can you roll 4 d20s? Wait, sorry, three d20s, 3d20s.
Was that an ask for me to make roll 3d20?
Yep, that was for Anch.
Okay.
A
Okay,
15,
so-
a 16, and a 5.
Okay. Cover 13 command 5. Okay, so these two infantry here, I'm gonna put shields on them. Please somebody remind me what the shields mean if I forget. These shields on the regular infantry. Are going to give them cover as they form a shield wall. Any opposed unit attacking this unit has disadvantage on attack tests until its next activation. They are braced for cover, and this infantry unit unfortunately can't really do much right now. Which would bring us down, around, and back to the top of the turn order. And I think that is a good time to take a break for the evening, I think. And it's getting a little late, so I think we should get through. We got through this first round of combat. How's everyone feeling about wrapping it up for the evening? We can all get some sleep and come back a little more refreshed for the next version. Okay,
I'm feeling a lot.
2.5 hours for one round of combat, I think, is perfectly acceptable when you're dealing with 75 units on the field. This is great.
And a new system for many people.
Yeah. So
we'll get quicker as time goes. We might even get 2 rounds done next time.
Yeah. Well, everybody got a chance to command units. Everybody got a chance to get a flavor for warfare. For anyone that got a chance to watch this, you're going to get a basic idea as to how kingdoms and warfare actually works on the field of battle. We have some maneuvers to adjust over here on the actual map to account for that, because we got some infantry moving up. So they move forward. You have one infantry unit here is moving forward behind the hobgoblins. And that is the current state of the field. And like not too much has been going. Oh, actually we have these Storm Rider commanders. So the Outrider commanders here. Okay. That is the current state of the battlefield. And we can check back in 2 weeks and push forward into battle. But I think the best case scenario is to definitely give y'all some chance to unwind, soak it in, get ready for bed, and come back fresh, and I'll be able to do some cleanup around this combat as well. So that being said, let's go around the table and have everybody let the people of the internet know where they can find you between now and 2 weeks when we come back for round 2 of the battle for Shadowdale. So let's start in reverse order. Let's go to Vivian. Thank you for joining us on session 1 for combat for a very unique system. So where can the people find you between now and 2 weeks, and what do you have going on between now and then?
Sure, glad to be here. I am at ViviCakes101 on Twitter. Something that I am working on, which hopefully will be releasing soon, is my actual play, which is Pathways of Merenia, which features a setting that I've been working on for more than a decade. We have recorded 3 episodes, and we're on the editing process for all those. So we'll be releasing them soon for everyone to enjoy.
Awesome. That's very exciting. And we will have your link tree up. Please remind me, just in case, or Twitter or any other links you want to add in there. Be happy to.
I just have the Twitter right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Anything you want to add between now and then, let me know, and we'll add it in there. And our second new player, we have Ian. Hello. What do you got going on between now and 2 weeks?
Hi, everybody. Between now and 2 weeks, I'll be here. I've relatively minimized my projects to a few podcasts, just because work has been very busy. So if you can't find me on here doing the thing, leading some armies, having a good time, you can find me on Twitter at Ian_Caliente. And then you can also find me on either Canadian radio or in your podcaster of choice. It is on both of those things. In Queen City Supers, it is a masked actual play. I am playing a doomed who has been adopted into a family of legacy superheroes. So I'm discovering my like spooky powers that are making me angsty and making me not trust my dad. Classic like Masks gameplay of like, you know, get into that the like angsty superhero goodness. I'm also in a difficult to schedule, but we're still chugging along Call of Cthulhu game. I was one of the few characters to survive to season 2, and who wasn't transported across the country by Fae nonsense. So you can find me
right.
there for, oh gosh, I know this one. Let me check my library of. Oh, I can't remember the name. My brain is really mushy right. It's late.
Me too. I'm tired, and my partial late mornings don't start until next week. So I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. You know what? I can just check the name of it on here. What am I doing? Beyond the Crumbling Veil. It is a Call of Cthulhu podcast where I play a Jungian psychotherapist, which is a fun change of pace from my actual therapy style as a real life therapist, because I don't really vibe with Jungian stuff, but it's fun. Like, I'm not as like a medical thing to use to help people for me specifically, but you know, it's interesting to play a character in that role. I used to be the skeptic. I'm not anymore. I'm upset about that. Those are my 2 big projects. I'm in a Call of Cthulhu at Beyond the Crumbling Veil, and I'm in Masks for Queen City Supers. And other than that, I'm doing this.
Oh yeah. All right. Thank you. And thank you both to our new players for coming in and taking a chance on learning an entirely new system, basically, of warfare. So thank you for strategy gaming and wargaming with us. We appreciate both of you very much. And of course, for our recurring players, starting with Jeff / Pathagan, let us know what you got going on. And thank you to our recurring players for jumping in and taking a chance on an entirely new, very thick hardcover book with us here on this channel, and some tactical gaming. So Jeff, thank you again. And what you got going on between now and 2 weeks?
Not a whole lot going on. I've got all of my home games that I run. I'm a DM for a game that I run every other week, opposite of this one. And other than that, I'm just hanging out in the Discord, being witchy, doing crime, and having a good old time.
Yes, and if you like witchy stuff, or be queer, do crime, be witchy, I don't know, I'm sure there's a follow-up to that, but if you like any of the above, come hang out with us in our Discord server. And Nick / Husky / Amberthist, hello friend, thank you for wargaming with us today.
Yeah, hi, I am Nick or Amberthist in the chat, and I play Clematis Scamperpaw in this lovely group. I also play with Precarious on Fridays as a halfling berserker rogue. Berserker is the barbarian in that system, and it's a very piratey, Polynesian themed D&D like game. That's been a lot of fun, and we've been doing some charity stuff where we draw deck of many things and all that, so that's been hella chaotic. But other than that, yeah, yesterday we did Alien RPG as well, and the next one that we have in, I believe, 2 weeks, or we'll figure that out, should be the grand finale, where either everyone's going to die and the ship explodes, or everything's fine. So who knows?
This is the Aliens game?
Yeah, that's the Aliens RPG.
So I have to come in and do more villain points.
Oh gosh. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of what I've got going on right now, unless I have any other weird, exciting stuff that happens. But it's been a crazy time.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. I got to pop in and watch one of the streams. It was amazing. So definitely, and the interactive elements are a lot of fun too. So thank you
For sure.
at least for the audience.
Oh, I
Like,
mean, you know,
same idea with the
this-
tarot cards. Yeah.
yeah, like this, the stress and panic is still fun for us too.
Yeah, for sure. And Ange over at Animazing Radio. Hello, what you got going on? Any upcoming podcasts, or tell us about it? I think you are muted. Gotta find the unmute button. There we
Yes,
go.
yes, I am.
Ah, there it
we
is.
go.
Okay.
Outside of this, right now, it's Sunday nights, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, Animazing Radio, where myself and two gents in two different states, we talk about anime and anime-related pop culture. And so if you like anime and you like goofiness, check that out.
Heck yeah, and I was fortunate enough to be a guest on the podcast. It's a lot of fun. They have a good time, and I definitely recommend, if you like anime, definitely checking it out. There's a lot of really good anime and D&D crossovers out there. Overlord, Konosuba, Record of Lodoss War, Record of Grand Crest War, Dungeon Meshi.
You got it.
Yeah,
Dungeon
I was gonna say
Meshi's
that's
so
my most
good.
recent
Dungeon
brainworm
Meshi
is
is
I read it
great.
all in a weekend. Wow, that was really good.
by the way,
Aaron made me cry in 7th.
Mhm.
Dungeon Meshi also inspired. There's a lot of Easter eggs and references to Record of Lodoss War, which was the first. Okay, so if you've never seen Record of Lodoss War,
Mhm.
just know it is D&D the anime. The Tiamat's in the opening sequence. You'd be like, whoa, wait a minute. It was, but the idea and the legend was, it was Japan in the late 80s, early 90s. And the meme was that the producers went into the writer's room and was like, hey, can we do a D&D anime? And the bean counters were like, oh, it's kind of expensive, you know what I mean? Like, what is that? And they were like, oh, it's a property. And they're like, and they were like, okay, how about high fantasy then with dragons? And like, cool, let's do it. So they changed one of the dragon's heads from blue to gold, so there wouldn't be a copyright, and they
like
had it in
Yu-Gi-Oh
like
style.
yeah, and they had to be a
Or like the
homebrew.
5-headed dragon, yeah.
And like there's Zhentarim and Red Wizards, but they're called different things and they have slightly different designs. The Red Wizards are still bald, and it's like it's hilarious. It's like a whole thing, and you could be like, this is literally just D&D. But Dungeon Meshi has a lot of references, and it's basically the exact same party. It's the exact same party, minus like the one random dude with blonde hair that's like, 'cause there was an odd person out. But their names are even similar. Like it's Chillchuck, Woodchuck, and Laos is Parn, and Marseille is Deedlit, or Deed, but it's like a 1-for-1, and it's pretty great. You can be like, oh, I think you can point out all the references. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, anyway, check out Ange's podcast if you like anime, and definitely go in the chat, ask questions about the D&D and TTRPG crossovers and anime. So
'Cause that is something I have talked about at great length,
yes.
because anime inspires D&D and vice versa.
Also, most importantly, Senshi is a hottie, and that's all.
Yes,
Oh gosh,
yes,
yes.
Senshi is a hottie. We
He's got
stand.
the he's got the take off the helmet, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh.
And I know, I think it was because he got wounded, but but he took his shirt off and he was wearing what looked like a binder, and I was like, okay, hold on.
In the Spanish
Don't
dub,
even
he
get me
says.
started.
Yeah.
In the Spanish dub, he says,
You have a
"Don't touch
canon
my
trans man?
boobs."
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
So yeah, I mean, that would be awesome, if we could get like a trans character confirmed. But who knows? I know anime is weird sometimes. But headcanon, I was like, all right, let's go. So
we're in.
yeah, let's go. So yeah, that's it. And for us, you can catch us back here on Saturday for Heaven's Fire, and yeah, that's what we got. We have some much needed downtime in Heaven's Fire as we continue after some big bombshells dropped 2 Saturdays ago with the reveals how King Nayla's father, Lucian Renoras, who is also a member of the Illumination Council in the City of Lights, has actually secretly been manipulating world events throughout the entirety of Valtheria and beyond for the past 227 years, and has essentially gaslit the entirety of the world, just as Ariak the Betrayer did almost 1400 years ago during the Second Infernal Crusade Aryak and the Infernal Lords have returned. It is a slow burn from within, and by the time you realize what's happening, you are already enthralled by the Hellish Lords, and the Infernal Crusades continue. So the party has stumbled across this information, and it's one of the party members' father who has taken over. And also, the big bad, the Sauron 1-for-1, is dead, apparently, was killed by a Shadow Archfey. And
Oh.
King Ayla's father has now become the de facto archfiend in command of operations here, and has taken over seamlessly and flawlessly for Aryak the Betrayer. The other question is, looking at some of our other campaigns and our other stories, what happened to Aryak? He's just no longer, our Sauron 1-for-1 is just no longer there. He was killed by the Shadow Archfey, and he's just some sussy things happening there. So tune in to learn more information about what's happening in those games, and we will see you on Saturday for Heaven's Fire episode 31. Yeah, 31, I believe. So we'll see y'all then. It's going to be a great time, and the party has been all week long screaming about Lucian, and how they're going to uncover this conspiracy. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and just say hello to our friends at Lost Caravan if they're still streaming, which they are. Maybe not. It's an ad. They're going to make me watch 20 seconds of ads. They look like they're live, so I'm going to go ahead and just roll on over there as well. No, raid, not roll. Raid.
Yeah.
Lost Caravan RPG. Stick around, y'all. You're going to want to see this. It's good stuff. See, we can get as many people as possible. Yeah. More. Okay, all right. All right, everybody. I'm going to go over to the thanks for watching screen, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye bye.
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 It's Monday. Oh, yeah. They're good. I don't know why they had us. Raid. I just go send some love. Okay.
All right, well, I gotta get going. So have a good night.